My friend demanded I give her my designer purse because you have so many and I deserve nice things too. When I refused, she snatched it off my arm and smirked, "Consider it a gift." The store cameras caught everything as I pulled out my phone and said, "Then let's see how you like explaining this to security." I was in my early 30s, living in Chicago, and had been working tirelessly at my job in marketing. After months of late nights and weekends at the office, I finally received a well-deserved promotion. To celebrate this personal milestone, I decided to treat myself to a designer handbag I'd been eyeing for months. It wasn't just about the brand or the style. For me, this purse symbolized the culmination of years of hard work and dedication. On a bright Saturday morning, I arranged to meet up with my longtime friend, let's call her Jessica, for a day of shopping along the Magnificent Mile. Jessica and I had been friends since our college days at Northwestern University. Over the years, we'd shared countless memories, from late-night study sessions to weekend getaways. Although our lives had taken different paths, she pursued a career in teaching while I ventured into the corporate world. We always made time to catch up. We met at our favorite coffee shop on Michigan Avenue. As I sipped my caramel latte, I couldn't contain my excitement and shared the news of my promotion with Jessica. She congratulated me, and we toasted to new beginnings. The plan for the day was simple: indulge in some retail therapy and enjoy each other's company. Our first stop was a high-end boutique known for its exclusive designer collections. As we entered, the scent of luxury perfumes wafted through the air, and soft classical music played in the background. I made a beeline for the handbag section, my eyes scanning the shelves until they landed on the purse I'd been dreaming of, a sleek, black leather bag with gold accents. I picked it up, feeling the smooth texture beneath my fingers. Jessica stood beside me, observing quietly. After a moment, she said, "It's beautiful. But don't you already have a few designer bags?" I nodded, yes, but this one feels special. It's like a reward for all the hard work I've put in. Jessica's expression shifted slightly, but she quickly masked it with a smile. "You should get it then." Encouraged by her words, I proceeded to the cashier and made the purchase. The sales associate carefully wrapped the purse in its protective dust bag and placed it in a branded shopping bag. As we left the store, I felt a surge of pride and accomplishment. We continued our shopping spree, popping into various stores, trying on clothes, and laughing about our fashion hits and misses. However, I began to notice a change in Jessica's demeanor. She seemed distant, her responses curt and lacking enthusiasm. After a couple of hours, we decided to take a break and have lunch at a nearby cafe. We found a cozy corner table and placed our orders. As we waited for our food, Jessica broke the silence. "You know," she began, stirring her iced tea with the straw, "I've been thinking. You have quite a collection of designer bags now." I looked at her, sensing where the conversation was headed. "I do enjoy collecting them," I replied cautiously. She sighed, "It's just that I've never owned one. And with my teacher's salary, it's hard to justify such an expense." I empathized with her situation, but wasn't sure what she was implying. "They're definitely an investment," I offered. Jessica leaned in, her eyes fixed on mine. "Would you consider giving me the bag you just bought? You have so many, and I think I deserve something nice too." I was taken aback by her request. "Jessica, I understand where you're coming from, but this bag means a lot to me. It's a symbol of my promotion and the hard work I've put in." Her face hardened. "But you can afford to buy another one." "I can't." "It would mean the world to me." I shook my head, trying to remain calm. "It's not about the money. It's about what this bag represents for me." The atmosphere grew tense. Jessica's eyes narrowed, and without warning, she reached across the table and grabbed the shopping bag containing my new purse. She clutched it tightly to her chest and smirked. "Consider it a gift," she said defiantly. I was in shock. The cafe patrons around us turned to look, sensing the commotion. Taking a deep breath to steady myself, I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone. "Then let's see how you like explaining this to security," I said firmly, unlocking my phone and preparing to call the authorities. Jessica's smirk faded, replaced by a look of panic. She glanced around, realizing that her actions had drawn attention. Slowly, she placed the shopping bag back on the table. "Fine," she muttered, avoiding eye contact. "Keep your precious bag." She grabbed her own belongings and hurried out of the cafe, leaving me sitting there, heart pounding and mind racing. I sat there for a moment, processing what had just transpired. The betrayal stung. A friendship that had spanned over a decade had unraveled in mere minutes. I couldn't fathom how Jessica could feel entitled to something so personal to me. After composing myself, I decided to head home. The joy I had felt earlier was overshadowed by a deep sense of loss. Over the next few days, I replayed the incident in my mind, grappling with a mix of emotions, anger, sadness, and disbelief. Jessica didn't reach out, and neither did I. The silence between us grew, solidifying the end of our friendship. While it was painful, the experience taught me a valuable lesson about boundaries and the importance of surrounding myself with people who respect them. In the end, the designer purse remained more than just an accessory. It became a symbol of not only my professional achievements, but also a reminder of the complexities of human relationships and the importance of standing up for oneself. A week passed. I didn't hear from Jessica. No texts. No calls. Nothing. I tried to focus on work, but my mind kept drifting back to that day. The purse sat on my dresser, untouched. I couldn't bring myself to use it. Every time I looked at it, I remembered her expression, the smirk, the entitlement, the sheer boldness of her snatching it like I owed it to her. Then it got worse. One morning, I stopped by my regular coffee shop before heading to the office. As I waited for my drink, I noticed two women whispering and glancing at me. When I got closer, I realized I recognized one of them. She was a mutual acquaintance from college. The other was a woman I didn't know. They fell silent when I walked by. Whatever. I brushed it off. But it didn't stop there. That afternoon, I got a message from another friend. "Hey, is everything okay between you and Jessica?" She posted something weird on Facebook. My stomach dropped. I opened the app and went straight to Jessica's page. She had made a public post, a long, emotional rant about how someone she once called a friend humiliated her in public over something as shallow as a bag. She never used my name, but the timing and details left no room for doubt. "She thinks she's better than people now," Jessica had written. All because she got promoted and bought a bag. I stood by her through her worst times, and now she acts like I'm trash. The comments were full of sympathy. People were siding with her. One reply read, "Wow. Some people let money go to their heads. You deserve better friends." Another said, "If that was me, I would have taken the bag too. You deserve it more." I felt sick. She was spinning the story, and people believed her. I considered commenting, defending myself, but I didn't. I knew how that would look. It would turn into a back-and-forth mess. Still, the damage was done. I started getting side eyes at events and awkward silences when I walked into familiar rooms. And then came the real twist. 2 weeks later, I was browsing online when an ad popped up on Instagram for a local consignment boutique in Logan Square. The ad showed off their newest arrivals. My heart stopped. There it was. My bag. The exact one. Black leather. Gold accents. Even the small scratch on the clasp was visible. It had been posted 4 hours ago. Marked as gently used. The seller's name was listed as Jessie84. That was Jessica's old email handle in college. I remembered because we used to share a Netflix account. I grabbed my phone and called the store. The woman who answered was polite but cautious. I told her I believed one of their items had been stolen from me, and I had proof. She hesitated, then said she couldn't hold the item without police involvement, but if I came in quickly, we could talk. I was at the door in 10 minutes. At the boutique, I explained everything. The bag had a serial number inside and a store receipt with my name on it. I had the receipt in my email. I pulled it up. I also showed her a photo of me holding the bag, taken right after I bought it. The employee's face changed. She went to the back and came out with the bag. It was mine. No doubt. "I'm really sorry," she said. The seller dropped it off and said it was a gift from an ex-friend who didn't appreciate it. I had no idea. I took the bag back. I also took a photo of the seller's form. It had Jessica's real name and contact info. At that point, I was furious, not just about the post or the gossip, but that she actually tried to steal and sell the purse behind my back. And she did it knowing I'd find out eventually. She wasn't just being petty. She was being calculated. This wasn't over. I wasn't about to let her get away with it. I didn't go to the police right away. I wanted to, but something told me to wait. I needed to be smart. Calculated. I needed proof, more than what I had. I already had the receipt, the bag, and her info from the consignment shop. But I needed something that showed intent. So I started digging. I went through old texts, looking for anything that hinted at jealousy, entitlement, anything that could show this wasn't some misunderstanding, but something she'd been planning. I found one message from 2 months earlier, after we had lunch and she saw me carrying my other Louis Vuitton. It read, "You always have the best stuff. If I ever get my hands on one of those, I'm never letting go. Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy." I didn't think much of it at the time. Now it looked different. While I was still trying to decide my next move, I got another surprise. Someone left a 1-star review on my business profile. I freelance on the side, marketing, branding, web content, and keep a small but solid client base through referrals and my website. I rarely get bad feedback, so the review stood out immediately. The review read, "Completely self-absorbed and unprofessional. She thinks buying expensive things makes her better than you. Total narcissist. Avoid at all costs. No name. No details. Just bitterness." I was sure it was Jessica. And then it got creepier. A few nights later, I noticed a car parked outside my apartment building. It wasn't unusual. City parking is a nightmare, but the same black Nissan kept showing up. First, one night, then again, and again. It would park down the block, idle for a bit, and leave. I wrote down the plate. After the 3rd time, I had enough. I called a friend who worked for a private security company. Nothing official, but enough to run a plate and keep things quiet for now. He called me back the next day. "It's registered to a Jessica A. Miller." There it was. She was watching me. This was no longer petty. This was obsessive. This was unhinged. I started documenting everything. Screenshots, notes, times, license plate, emails. I even went to the building manager and asked for the front door camera footage. I explained everything. He agreed to help, pulled the clips, and handed over the video. Sure enough, there she was. Clear as day. Standing just outside the entrance with her phone, looking in like she was about to come up, but changed her mind. I saved everything. Then one night, she crossed the line again. I came home from work and found an envelope taped to my door. No return address. Inside was a printed photo of me, taken from across the street. Same day, I went to the boutique to reclaim my bag. In the photo, I'm holding the purse, mid-step, unaware I'm being watched. There were no words on it, just the photo. I felt a chill run down my back. This wasn't a friend lashing out. This was someone unraveling. Someone who believed she was owed something, and if she couldn't get it from me, she'd try to destroy me instead. I filed a police report. I gave them everything. The footage, the car plate, the screenshot of the sale listing, the social media post, and the photo from my door. I even printed the nasty review. The officer looked at the pile of evidence and nodded. "You did your homework," he said. They opened an investigation. I was told to document any further contact. I also filed for a restraining order. Word must have gotten around, because within a week, the social media post disappeared. The nasty review was taken down. The car stopped showing up outside my apartment. But then I got a call. It was from my old college roommate, Lauren. We hadn't talked in a while, but she said she saw my name come up in a group chat of mutuals. Jessica had been telling people I framed her, saying I was jealous of her and that I was trying to ruin her life over a purse. "She's spinning it hard," Lauren said. "She's telling people you're dangerous, that you're unstable, that you fabricated the whole thing." I was floored. I had proof. I had receipts. I had video. She had lies. But if I knew anything about people, it's that when someone tells a dramatic story, others listen. And not everyone asks for facts. Some just go along with what's easiest to believe. I had stayed quiet long enough. It was time for Jessica to find out what it's like when someone messes with everything you've built and you fight back. I didn't want to go nuclear. I really didn't. But Jessica didn't stop. She just got quieter about it. She deleted the public posts, sure. Took down the review. Stopped parking near my place. But behind the scenes, she kept running her mouth. Friends I'd known for years stopped replying to my messages. A few unfollowed me. Some even blocked me. That's when I realized what she was doing wasn't just petty, it was strategic. She was trying to isolate me, make me look crazy. She wanted people to believe I was the villain. And for a while, it worked. I talked to a lawyer. At first, just to see what my options were. He said I had a strong case, harassment, defamation, attempted theft. But he also warned me, if you push this into court, it'll get ugly. She'll lie. She'll drag you down with her if she can. I had a choice. Stay quiet and hope it died down. Or end it. Completely. Publicly. I chose the second. I made a post. One post. It was long, detailed, and every single thing in it was backed by screenshots, photos, video timestamps, and receipts. I didn't name her, but I included enough proof that anyone who knew what happened would connect the dots. I told the whole story. The bag, the cafe, the consignment shop, the stalking, the review, the photo taped to my door. I blurred nothing. I posted screen grabs of her consignment listing and pointed out the serial number that matched my receipt. I even showed the clip from the apartment security footage, her face, clear as day. Then I said one thing that sealed it. If anyone still wants to defend her, just know she stood outside my building in the dark and took pictures of me without my knowledge. Ask yourself who the dangerous one is. It exploded. Within a day, I got over 100 messages. People apologized for believing her. Some said they were scared of her too. A former friend of hers sent me screenshots of private messages where Jessica admitted she wasn't sorry for taking the bag and would do it again if she could. It was over for her. She tried to clap back. Made a post calling me vindictive and bitter. Said I was weaponizing the internet against her. But no one was buying it anymore. That week, the boutique owner filed a formal complaint against her for fraud. She was blacklisted from selling there again. The school district she worked for? I didn't even know this would happen, but someone reported her behavior. An investigation started. She lost her job. She tried to blame me, said I ruined her life. But here's the thing. I didn't ruin anything. She did that herself. You don't get to manipulate, steal, lie, stalk, and smear someone's name, and then cry victim when it all backfires. Actions have consequences. As for me, I came out of it burned, but not broken. I lost friends, yes. I lost peace for a while. But I found something better, clarity. The kind that tells you who you really are when you're under fire. And I learned something else too. Revenge doesn't always mean screaming or fighting or dragging someone through the mud. Sometimes it's just showing the truth in the brightest light possible and letting everyone see who people really are without a filter. And if you're wondering about the bag, I sold it. Every time I saw it, it reminded me of her. Of betrayal. Of obsession. Of the whole mess. I donated the money to a local women's shelter. She took my trust, my time, my peace, but she didn't get to keep the story. That part belonged to me. And I made damn sure it ended with her watching everything fall apart, just like she planned for me.